Hello to all my dear FCE students. As you know, we are working on the review this month. I have already mentioned it before, but here I have something that will help you with the project from the bingo chart that's going to need to be done before the 30th of April, as I told you. Do not forget, 30th of April. I'm checking my computer, my email. Want to make sure your review, your essay is there, so don't let me down. Okay, and I made this wonderful slide that you guys can use for information. All right, so the title is FCE Writing, PowerPoint, Review, edited by me. SCA has her version, which is cool. You guys can also check that out. Okay, I just made a couple of tweaks on it so you guys have like access to it and look through all the slides and get all the information that you need. First thing is that you don't want to forget that the review focuses on what is a semi-formal writing. So it's got some formal in it, but it's not as informal as the article. The article is super personal and you make it like all about you and you want to hook that reader. The review, it's quite similar, but we're going to use a little more semi-formal kind of tone to it. Okay? All right. So we're going over with that. That's there. On your checklist, which is always important to make a checklist before you start writing, you want to remember that it's vital that you focus on it before any writing task. This goes like essays, articles, reviews, informal letter, anything that you have to write, guys. Organize your ideas. What am I answering the question? What's my structure like in the review or in the article? Is it different than the essay? Okay, you want to make clear paragraphs, short and sweet, one topic per body paragraph. Okay, in some cases, of course, you have like 3 questions. We talked about this before with the article. If there are 3 questions, then maybe you want to include the ones that go together in the first body paragraph, 1 and 2 questions, and answer the third question in body paragraph 2. That can go either way in any of the body paragraphs, depending on which questions are more connected to each other that you feel that you can answer in the same body paragraph. Range of vocabulary, you guys have advanced vocabulary that I have taught you. You can look back in your vocabulary. However, in this particular PowerPoint, you still have a more vocabulary description for certain situations. Okay, you'll see that in a moment. Remember that in a review, you can do films, music, restaurant, websites, video games, and books. Okay, one of the most common ones that we get is usually restaurants, films, or music. Today we're going to focus on restaurants since this is part of your project. Okay. All right, so we're going there. These are just some tips for the introduction, which is important for you to read. Reading is important, guys. Give some basic info about the restaurant, name, location. Depending on what the question is really looking for, this is where you write this information on the introduction. It's located, it's situated, it's in the heart of the city, it's in the suburbs. Okay, the suburbs is the area around the center, the city center. Okay, all right, let's go. So here's your formula. You have to mention clearly what you're reviewing. Okay, summarize things in a simple, clear way as you go over the argument, play, song, restaurant, book, movie, or website. And then I put here as I am because that should be your structure. If you organize your ideas and you try to follow these steps each time that you do a writing, then you will get the hang of this and you will remember this more and more when you do writings in the future. There is a chant that ASIA has made, which I will post it in the Google Classroom again next to my PowerPoint, and you guys can practice that if it helps you remember how the structure for the review is compared to the article and compared to the essay. Okay, so you begin your introduction as I am an avid reader, traveler, fan of Marvel Cinematic Universe, or as I am a foodie, an outdoorsy woman, an outdoorsy man, follower of martial arts, for example. I have always been interested, substitutes keen on, into, crazy about. So I decided to, you give a little brief summary, connector, and boom, you're good to go. All right, now I have an example for you. All right, here we have an introduction question. No, I'm sorry, not an introduction question, guys. Sorry. Here you have a question about a review that is wanted. Okay, have you visited a new restaurant in your area recently? We'd love to know your opinion. Please tell us only about the food and staff, but also about the prices. Okay, not only. Would you recommend this place to other people? The winning review will be published in a local magazine and awarded €100 check, £100. If only we actually got £100, that'd be amazing. But the reality is, this is how the FCE questions are for the writing. So now that you know that this is about a magazine, then you want to make also something interesting for the reader. Okay, so I began the introduction with, as I am a foodie, I have always been interested in eating out in exotic restaurants. So I decided to try a new one that opened up in the city a few weeks ago. Da 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 da. It's located in Muswell Hill. I have recently dined there, and I can tell you it has magnificent decor, which makes you feel as if you were in those cozy Parisian restaurants. What's more, the food looks phenomenal and it's reasonable price. So I just summarize all the things that I'm focused on in this review in this introduction. So it's right there. But now I'm going to give more details in my body paragraph 1 and my body paragraph 2 to answer clearly those questions. You will look at this and you will find adverbs, you will find adjectives, different ways of describing the location and the place where you're going. Okay, now we're going to the body paragraphs. You have two body paragraphs here, the same as the article. Okay, here you need to provide more details about food, staff, and prices. You can also add comments about service and atmosphere if you want to, and you can mention something that you didn't like so much. Of course, as a normal review, there can be certain movies, books that you love, you're crazy about, but there's just one thing that you didn't like. Why did they have to kill that character? Or why did the ending have to be like that? So there's certain little details that we can criticize. And this is what a review is about. If you look at reviews on YouTube, you will see that people mainly talk about what good things were in the movie and what things weren't so good in the movie. Well, this is about a restaurant, so you can also criticize what's not so good and you can talk about how great certain things were in the restaurant. Okay, so here you have being a vegan prevented me from selecting such delicious delicacies as duck breast or steak sirloin. Boom. Nevertheless, connector, the restaurant offers a wide variety of high quality vegan dishes. Okay, cool. And then you continue with that information describing the food, the typical food that they offer in this restaurant. And then body paragraph 2, now we're going to talk about the service. Okay, and the price. The price they charged for the exquisite dishes was very reasonable. If I had one criticism, it would be that the place was quite crowded and they were playing awful music. However, it did not stop me from enjoying the fresh and flavorful food. What's more, I was even given a complimentary drink, which was the icing on the cake. You could use idioms and you could use phrasal verbs if you wanted to, for sure. This is semi-formal, so you can incorporate these things in there as long as you're not doing like the tag questions. Wouldn't you agree? Don't you think that? Because that's not necessary in a review. Okay? All right. Going over to the conclusion to summarize this. Okay. Now, in the conclusion, we want to go with an overall opinion and a recommendation. You may also be asked to give reasons how it has influenced you. Okay? So there is a structure, just so you keep looking at the bottom, of how you do a conclusion, which I will include. Did I jump that already? Yeah, it's right here in the bottom. So you guys have the structure of the conclusion in a nutshell, all in all, to sum up, your general opinion, connector, and a recommendation chunk. When we talk about recommendation chunks, you have your chunks right here. You had better not try this restaurant. I found the food wonderful. This is no comparison. The food there won't let you down as it was excellent. You have your chunks here, guys. So you have chunks for books, you have chunks for films, all that you need, your tools to work with. What's more, you have your amazing vocabulary in your list to describe things, how to describe music, how to describe book and films, how to describe restaurants, different adjectives and adverbs that you can use. All right, and now let's wrap it up with the conclusion. Conclusion. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. So, all in all, Cote Brasiere, I sound like a Brazilian person there, serves delicious and relatively inexpensive French food. It's a pity that the place was very busy and noisy. Okay, so this is the one thing that you again mentioned that it's not so good. Nevertheless, contrast, there's no doubt in my mind that this place won't let you down once you give it a chance. Okay, so You have it right there. You have your example for a review, my version of it, as I was saying, my version of it, and that will give you the opportunity to go into your bingo slide. You look into your review, and this one is write a review of a restaurant that serves healthy food because this month we're focused on food and health. So start thinking about what restaurant offers healthy food. If you don't know of a particular restaurant, maybe you can ask your parents. Maybe they had an experience in Madrid, in Barcelona, in Valencia. Maybe they went to Seville. I mean, there might be a healthy restaurant in Lucena. I don't really know, but it's an idea. If you don't know, if you haven't been one, you can do research, guys. Google, the internet, surfing on the internet. It's a powerful tool. We can investigate, we can get some different opinions from different people, and we can generate content and write something amazing. Okay, guys, so remember that you have the Bingo FCE in the Google Slides, and you will now see the FCE writing review PowerPoint in a new post that I'm going to do in the next 15 minutes. If you have any questions, send me an email. I do expect you to do this on Google Slides or Word document so I can make the corrections on the computer, highlight your mistakes, hopefully not too many, give you my feedback instead of just taking a picture of something that you've written. It's a bit complicated to do. Okay, long story short, guys, have a wonderful day and we'll be seeing each other in the next class, right? Okay, goodbye.